Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Shajibul Islam Sheikh, and now I am review this paper Visual Chatbots ChatGTP taking, drawing, and editing with Visual Foundation models. So, the large language model, the concept has very popular. Let's say the dog sat on the chair. Here the set the idea of language model is, if I cut out the certain word set from the sentence, can I use the rest of the words to reproduce or fill in the blank in this particular word which I have cut out from these sentences. So that is the core idea of language model, where we try to regenerate certain missing words or missing tokens from the sentences, and that's the how the whole language model gets trained. Now the idea of large language model essentially is that when we train this on an entire corpus for the whole web, then it becomes like a large language model. The other concept is ChatGTP. ChatGTP is essentially a chatbot which we can talk to. So, for example, with to this ChatGTP, we can answer a question and it will look at all the training data and all the corpus which is trained using a technology called Instruct GPT, which is essentially we can give feedback to the model, and the model can essentially allow to give us follow-up question on the questions which we have asked before, which is extremely useful. I have some limitations of ChatGTP. It is only a language based model, so it is trained only using the human language or text data as an input, and cannot handle the visual information. That's why this paper Visual ChatGTP comes into. Now, Visual Foundation model, it is a collection of various vision based model. Now there have some several models or visual models which have come out recently. The models are Stable Diffusion. It is a very popular because it is capability to generate an image from a text input. For example, it if we can describe a text input, and the Stable Diffusion model can take the text input and generate an image using the description that have described in the text. The another model is BLIP. It can take an input image and it can describe the image into a summary. The idea is that can we make up a collection of all the models and make a building block called Visual Foundation model. That is the whole idea of Visual ChatGTP. Here is the some property of the Visual ChatGTP. Visual ChatGTP is an extension of ChatGTP that can handle text and image. Can this chat agent have access to various visual foundation models, and it can pick and choose that given the text query which models among the various models that user need to choose. Can this model take user feedback? Let's we have image and we want to reduce some noise from the image, so there could be some noise reduction which we want to, and then want to change a certain color in this image. And now we can make a chatbot which can take this instruction and do a step by step process and choose different model from the different task and generate a final image using my different feedback. That's the idea which have been proposed in this paper. So here is the architecture of Visual ChatGTP. The input can be the image or a text. Here this paper use a flower as an input of a image, and rather than a text. This text is please generate a red flower conditioned on the predicted depth of this image and then make it like a cartoon, step by step. So here is our input image, then it goes to the prompt manager, a prompt manager that process the input query, and then choosing the right kind of model it needs to choose to process it and generate the final outcome. It can take both language input and the visual input. Then try to process the query of the user and then generate the final outcome. Now the question remains by someone, why can't we just train a single model which can handle multiple modalities together? There have some challenges. Training this model required a large computational input and it is too much expensive. If anyone try to add audio and video in this, that is very big challenges. In the visual chat GTP, where instead of training a single model which can handle multiple modalities, let's say we have a model which can have a block of models called visual foundation models that contains hundred of models, and we can have a model manager. The model manager take the input query and then figure it out which model will be the best suited for the input query. Let's say model 50 is the best for the input query. It choose model 50, process the image and generate the output. That is the whole idea of this paper. Thank you for joining.